Hey, everybody. Okay. So, welcome to Mass Effect, Lost Initiatives Mass Effect, Ashes of the Vanguard. So, this is going to be our second group of Session Zeros. We're going to be doing it with Rena the Destroyer and Messy was taken. What's up, guys? How are you? Are you good?
What's she doing here?
Oh,
sorry. What's he doing here? Who invited this guy?
It's funny that I hear you
No.
echoed inside of his thing. So you're like, what is he doing here? But like, I also hear you in his microphone saying it.
No, I don't.
Why does she have my name? Why does she have my name?
That was, whoa, he really does have a delay. Just
I
him.
told you. No,
Oh, that's really bad. Oh, that was funny. I like
Did you
that.
hear it in mine?
Yeah. Yep. So as we're about to jump into this and go live, and we're going to kick Rena temporarily out of the call so we can, let's make her go invisible. She'll be working on her character in the background, getting her spells plugged in and kind of paying attention to Messy's story, getting kind of familiar with how it works. Same as we did with Pat and Wade beforehand. We'll pull her in, then we'll do a kind of a dual thing afterwards. But before we get started, I do want to give a quick shout out to our patrons. Of a certain tier and above. I am calling you out and saying thank you. So I do want to say Ash and Phoenix, thank you so much. Silencio Steve, thank you. There's another one in here who's, I'm just going to say their Discord name because I don't know their Twitch name, but they did just sign up literally 2 minutes ago. And that's going to be Discord name Delta, because I don't want to say anybody's IRL names. And then we have another person. Nope, yep, there we go. So those are the ones I'm calling out. If anybody else wants to join onto the Patreon, you can do all sorts of awesome things like make characters that they interact with, potentially even write quests, make chunks of the world, like whole solar systems, for them to interact with, make unique items for the characters, or just to add to a pool of items that they're able to use, and so on and so forth. You can check it all out over there. But thank you to those three. Very much appreciated. Let's kick Rena from the call and get started. So, Rena, thank you for coming by and hanging out. And I can't wait to do your session zero. Yours is like the unique one. So, awesome, cool. Deuces.
Okay, bye.
What's up, Messy? How are you?
I'm worried about how bad my delay is.
I mean, you and I have done stuff before where you had a pretty nasty delay, but that time was like, God, I want to say it was like 4 or 5 seconds. So this one's not going to be as bad as that. So I think we'll be good.
I think the last time we tried to do that, you got too high, and you ended the stream.
I may have had. First of all, I have never been high on stream before. That has absolutely never happened. But there may have been times where you and I have hung out before where edibles may have been involved, which have a delayed reaction to kick in. And when they do, they kick it a little hard, which is 100% perfectly legal in Massachusetts where I live, just to be clear. Okay?
Yes.
Unlike Florida, which is disappointing when you're on vacation with your friends.
It's legal if you have a disease.
I do. It's called being friends with Messy, and I need my medicine.
It's called sobriety.
It's called, yeah. I've got a sickness. The only cure. What is it? The only remedy? I forget how it goes. Prescription. I don't know. Wait, we'll say it. All right. Messy, you ready to kind of like...
He's talking too much.
You ready to like dive into this?
Yes.
Perfect. Cool.
God, still so bad.
Is it really that bad?
Yeah, I'm watching the stream back. It is pretty bad.
Oh, okay. Well, don't do that.
Start with Rena, I could try to fix it.
No. You're not going to be able to fix it. Turn off the stream back. Seriously, just turn it off. Get rid of it. Focus on this. Ignore that. We're going to get through an hour. It'll be great. And then you can fix it in the hour that Rena's in. All right? Cool. Let's go.
Okay.
All right. So, your character finds themselves inside the ship that they've recently been assigned. They have a task, a job to do. Now, they don't know all the details. What they do know is that they're going to be visiting some remote world somewhere. The details, again, haven't totally been given to you yet. But the world that you're going to be heading to, there's a job that needs to be done, an extraction of sorts, if you will. You're just waiting for your handler to come in and fill you in. You find yourself inside of a quiet room. Has a beautiful, like the Mylar glass observatory looking out into the stars. So you could just see as you're traveling faster than as you're traveling FTL faster than the speed of light. You can see that just like everything kind of whizzing by exceedingly fast, so much so that it makes almost like a bluish glow around the actual ship itself. It's, you know, it's beautiful. It's not just beautiful. The pulsing is serene. It's something that kind of brings you calm, helps you to fall deeper and deeper into your meditation. I mean, Frait is, he is, to those that don't understand him, can come off as kind of a simple individual, but he's trained, dedicated, has his moments of peace, of serenity, but he also has his moments of jumping into action, explosive movements, and so on. As Frait is sitting there, what's going through his mind as he's just sitting there and looking out into the pulsing bluish whitish light of the FTL?
I will tell you, but I have to remember something, a particular name on this fandom page that I'm scrolling through right now. Okay, perfect. I found it. Okay. So he's as he stares out into like the darkness of space, he's meditating to himself, and he's silently praying to Kalahira. I think that's how you pronounce it. Kalahira. Maybe. Mm-hmm. Who is the Drell goddess of oceans and afterlife. And space, much like an ocean, is quite vast and dark. And it's very easy for him in rides like this to kind of get lost in his own thoughts, and he calls that like some kind of way of like honoring that particular goddess.
Okay.
So he'd probably just be looking out of whatever star bay view that he can find, and just thinking to himself quietly.
Okay. So, as he's thinking to himself, knowing that from the amount of time that he's been traveling, it's not his first time on this ship. The amount of time that he's been traveling, he's going to be coming He's going to be coming in soon to where it is he needs to. It wasn't too long ago he jumped through the what's called mass relay, and then jumped from the system that the mass relay was located in over to this system. They're closing in now on the target, the planet that they intend to get to. The door behind him opens. He hears the, of the door opening. And he can feel the presence, even though he cannot hear the sound of the being that's moving in behind him. I mean, as a Drell, trained as he is with the skills that he has and so on, he works with and for the Hanar. Hanar being an aquatic creature, a type of jellyfish, let's just call them, for to be both kind of simplistic and somewhat insulting to who they are as a people. The Hanar are a creature that cannot easily move outside of the atmosphere provided by an ocean. Moving about in gases doesn't give them the ability to propel themselves and move with the grace and strength that they typically do. So instead, they kind of shroud themselves in these little fields that they use with electronic devices to move, floating through the air instead. This has a couple of effects. One, it makes them look awe-inspiring, gives them kind of a neon-like hue, like a glow to them. It makes them seem significantly taller than they otherwise would be seen, standing well above the others that would be on the 2D plane, even their tentacles above the actual ground and then being extremely long. But on top of that, it also makes them extremely silent. It's almost eerie how silent they are. The opening of the door and the no sound afterwards is what tells you that there is a Hanar approaching from behind. And so you, of course, know who it is. What were we going to say?
He'd stand, probably a second or two after the door opens before any words are exchanged, and he'll say, he'll turn and smile to whoever just came in the room. I'm assuming it's the handler that we were just talking about a minute ago.
Yeah, of course.
Seeing him then and recognizing him, he'll speak first and say, "Thank you so much for taking me, or assisting me, I should say." And he then falls silent because he's insecure.
Nope, that's fine. Says, this one is pleased to be working with you again. Have you prepared yourself?
I was just going to say he brightens up and smiles at the pleasantries, thinking that he had made a mistake in his introduction, and when he's not perfect, he clams up. So he kind of relaxes a little bit. But sorry, continue.
Can you just take a moment and yell at Tyler in chat for thinking Miranda is the robot?
You're thinking of Ida. And I'd fuck them both, so it's okay.
Oh, well.
Hey. Forgot you were listening. All right.
It's not... I mean, is it cheating if it's just a toy? Right? It's not cheating if it's a toy, and Edie is not a real person, so it's not cheating. It's okay. Like, it's perfectly safe.
Oh, no. I'm not saying that. Scott, you're wrong, and we'll leave it at that.
So it's cheating if it's a toy?
I don't want to say anything more.
Oh, okay, moving on. So where were we?
Back with something that is very inappropriate. That's all.
We don't need to hear what. You know, I'm going to leave it alone. I'm just going to leave it alone. HR has her pen out. I don't need to.
Yeah.
I can't even see her right now, but I don't want to. Moving on. It says, have you finished your preparations?
Again, he stands up straight and does like I guess some kind of honorable salute or bow and says, yes, I've been done.
Then you must be informed of your task that you have before you. Our people have been contacted by one of the Volus clans. They have a vested interest in the planet of Arvuna. The proximity of Arvuna to a world that they are terraforming for their own people, and the quality of resources that can be found on it makes it a valuable asset for them to acquire. Unfortunately, the world is currently inhabited by others, originally predominantly humans. Initial reports suggest that the humans that are found on Arvuna have fallen into a societal decay. They have more or less brought themselves to there's infighting, there is slaughter. A deal was made between our people and this clan of Volus in exchange for assisting in the extraction of the people found on Arvuna. A certain location of interest on the world will be given to us. I'm saying world, it's technically a moon, I think. On the moon? Yep, sorry, on the moon of Arvuna. A certain location of the moon of Arvuna will be given to our people. Many artifacts that belong to the Enkindlers can be found there. Now, you know, lately, the teachings that were delivered to you in your youth, there's rumors being spread, misinformation, lies about the origin of the Enkindlers and what it was that they have done and provided for the various peoples across the galaxy. As you find yourself on this moon, and potentially before the artifacts of the Enkindlers, keep a clear mind and a stout heart, and remember the teachings that were given to you. There is one particular settlement. Oop, go ahead, you first.
Fuck, dude, this delay sucks. He looks a little bit solemn at the mention of the infighting that the humans had. This was taking steps just a minute ago. He would be disappointed in hearing that. He would shake his head even. And when they mention the artifacts and to stay strong, his face will tighten up and he'll like go into soldier mode and like nod along.
Okay. I'm trying to remember what I was going to say next. Oh yeah, he says, there is one particular settlement that is the one of interest for you on your arrival. I'm just realizing that, boom. Okay. There we go. Upon your arrival, it is going to be the settlement of... Give me half a tick here.
Of course,
the settlement of New Babylon.
New Babylon?
Indeed. New Babylon has become a beacon of strength, if you want to call it that, among the other colonies. By approaching New Babylon and convincing its leadership to, in fact, leave the moon, we can transport them safely to the nearby Citadel East space. We can bring them to the outpost that they have there, and they can find refuge and be given the appropriate assets and opportunities to have a safer and better life than what is currently given to them. Once they are removed, the Volus clan will see to it that any others that do not wish to leave due to their violent nature will be extracted, one way or the other.
Frait says, he kind of takes a second to mull over what he's being told. Obviously, it's orders, so he's not going to fight back on them. But he will say, it sounds a lot like what we did for my people, and that's the most noble mission.
Indeed. This one is happy with your dedication to our cause.
I won't let you down, sir.
Sir! It says, the Hanar continues by saying, this one went ahead and had acquired for you the same rifle that you enjoyed using on past tasks. It is prepared for you.
Yeah, Frait will give a big smile at that. Say, well, I hope it didn't cost you too many strings.
None. And then it gives like a bit of like a bowish sort of a thing. You know, whatever it is that they do. And then it just turns in place and floats away, the door opening and closing behind it. Any thoughts going in Freight's head before we kind of jump to the next spot here?
He's excited and looking forward to doing this mission.
Perfect. Glad to hear it. Give me 1 second. Are you willing to make me a decaf and bring it down, or should I come up and get it myself? Yeah, I like coffee.
Does coffee like you?
Well, considering how often I put it in my mouth and enjoy the experience, I like to believe that it reciprocates the feelings.
Say no more.
I think for everybody's sake, I will not. Moving on. So, Tyler. Moving on. So, a few minutes later, you'll kind of you get the indication that you're dropping out of the FTL speeds. Like you could feel like the whirring of the engine kind of slowing down, saying that in the next minute or two you'll be dropped out of the. I keep wanting to say hyperspace like it's Star Wars. Dropping out of the FTL speeds and bringing you into orbit around the moon in question. Now, this moon, Arvuna, is one of, I believe, 2 moons that encircle the planet of Draenen. Some PCs in the campaign in Roll20 have access to the handle Arvuna and should read the details written on it. Wink, nudge, wink, nudge. But as for you, Pat, I was going to say, Pat, as for you, Bessie, if you want to roll me a knowledge history check.
Okay, just, I don't know if you heard what I said, but okay.
I did. It doesn't help me at all, unfortunately.
Knowledge history, there you go. Oh,
hey, Wade, he's the exact opposite.
Oh, I'm playing random square.
Why are you random square?
I don't know. I just fixed it.
So you failed the history check. You don't know anything about the
sheet, so.
You don't know anything about Arvuna as a moon. Yeah, chat. As Steve is saying, there is a spot on there for all the people that did this before the campaign started, where you can literally create a Krogan clan. This is again for anybody who is of any tier. You just give some fun details, and if you wrote the one that is my favorite, you'll actually get like a whole bunch of initiative, and they'll become a featured clan as opposed to just one of the ones in the backdrop that'll be mentioned here and there. It'll become like a featured clan. All right, moving on. So back to you, Messy Cat. So you would go and, make sure that your armor is correctly put on. With your armor, like, let's be clear. Armor, when you're wearing light armor, is effectively like leathers and, woven fabrics and whatnot that have, ballistic, fabrics or whatever that inside there that have those. I can't remember what it's called, but there's this type of liquid that you can effectively soak fabrics into. And then they do this like really cool compression thing where like, if high ballistic things hit it, it reduces the pressure. So it's like that kind of like advanced shit that also has like a shield generator built into it and a couple of like hard points on it. So like you can imagine like common hit areas, just like right around the abs, the chest, or parts of your shoulders will have like hardened areas as well, just to make sure that it's solid. So again, light armor is what your character is wearing. You go over, and it'd be nice to have more equipment, but unfortunately, you're still relatively new to what it is that you do, and they only ever give you the most basic of materials, which I believe for you is literally a sniper rifle and an Omni Blade. Is that correct?
I guess we talked about having to change the ruling in proficiencies, but I don't think I changed my starting equipment for that. So no, yeah, it's just the sniper and the Omni Blade. That's right.
Yep. Exactly. Cool. So, where were we? Where were we? So yeah, you grab your shit, you head over, and they're gonna bring you to the world itself. Yeah. No, you're good. They're gonna bring you over to the world itself, so to the moon itself. But they're not going to just drop you inside of the actual ship here. They're going to bring you over to a drop ship where you're going to be able to pilot the thing down. Now, everybody can handle basic piloting of what are they called? Shuttles. So if you're not doing any combat-related checks where it's like literally, what's the word we're looking for here? Try to maneuver around attacks or go through like if you're talking about literally flying down from a ship or going from basic one location to the next, anybody can handle flying of a shuttle. So your character goes into a small shuttle that's meant to transport 10 people at a time. It's decent size. 10 people at a time, short distances plus the pilot, and you can hop into the thing and bring it down. When I say 10 people, this is like short distances, not like everybody can sit down sort of a thing. So you'll go over, you'll hop into the shuttle, and you'll release yourself from there and start coming down to the world. As you're going down to the world, you'll have the map of wherever it is that you need to go will be pulled up onto screen for you, so you can find out exactly where you're supposed to land. Now, one of the things that pulls up on the map is that apparently at some point in time there were I think it was 8 different colonies were on this. But while 8 colonies are on this, there's really only 2 of them that are highlighted on your display there. One of them, which is called Promethean Station. Promethean Station is named as such because people put it onto Prothean, not to be confused with the word Promethean, They set that up there because it was discovered that a bunch of Prothean ruins were there. And this is likely what the Hanar was talking about. The other one that's going to be highlighted on the map for you as you're dropping down is New Babylon, which is the one that you were told is where you're supposed to go and kind of convince the people to leave for extraction. Where is it that you choose to go to? Is it to swing by the Prothean area, or is it to swing by the New Babylon?
I feel like I should probably go to New Babylon because that's where my mission is. I'm not sure. What did you give me a reason why Promethean would be like acceptable for the Hanar?
You know that the
Close enough
Hanar
to walk or something.
No, it would take, if you're walking like with your drop ship, it would, not take too terribly long, maybe an hour or so to get between A and B. But with or longer. With your walking though, it would take a long time. The reason why Promethean Station is of interest is because that's where the Prothean ruins were, and this is the location that, in theory, the Hanar are going to acquire as a payment from the Volus clan that was hired to send you in.
I think he would probably go to New Babylon and let the Hanar worry about the ruins, if they choose to.
Okay, so say that one more time. My apologies.
I'm gonna head to where my mission is in New Babylon.
Okay, cool. So as you pull up to New Babylon, like I said, there's other maps or whatever there's other spots or whatever that are on your map, but they're not like highlighted for points of interest for you to approach quite as of yet. Once you go to New Babylon itself, one of the things that you can notice is that it's actually, while not great in size, it does seem to have a good number of defenses that were put up. You can see that there are, what's the word I'm looking for here? Physical barriers that were put, so almost like walls, makeshift put together to make it more difficult for people to approach from the outside, et cetera, et cetera. But for all the defenses that they have put up on your initial approach, absolutely none of them, and I mean 0 of them, are against anything that's flying. So these defenses are, if you land outside of the, we'll call it city, though in truth it's more like a thorp, and were to walk or ride or whatever your way in. But if you wanted to bring your drop ship directly into the place, you absolutely could do so, excuse me. And while there is no specific landing zone, landing pad, if you will, there are certainly more than a few clearings where you could easily land the ship if you wanted to. Before you make your decision, why don't you go ahead and make me a, I believe it's a investigation.
Am I supposed to be seeing a different map, by the way? Because I still just see the
Nope. This is all theater of mind. Yeah. All theater of mind.
Just making sure.
Yeah, why don't you go ahead and make me a investigation check?
Okay.
Thank you, wifey.
22. It's a lot better.
All right. Ooh, yeah, look at that. You rolled well. Kudos. That's exciting. All right.
Wow, thanks.
Cool. Okay. So, the only one that's in the background chat is Rena, for this one. The other ones are doing whatever they want to do. And next week we'll all be together moving forward. So with the 22 investigation, this is what you notice, Messy. As I said beforehand, there is 0 defenses from the sky, which comes off as odd to you, but okay. You could easily land it if you wanted to. And moreover, on all the different landing zones that are there, you do a pretty damn good scan of the area with the tools that are on your dropship. And let's be honest, there are no defenses against anybody. Like if somebody wanted to, I don't know, land a drop, like let's say Blood Pack came in here and wanted to just land a drop ship and just like drop out 20 Vorsha and Krogan and Batarians to like start ramsacking this place, they would do so, no problem whatsoever. There's 0 defenses against sky drops. However, as I said, the defenses are very strong against a land approach, whether it be fast or slow land approach. And moreover, there's lots of scoring and pockmarks and whatnot suggesting that there have been attacks, there have been raids. even more than that, you can actually see that there is a grave area that you found with, unfortunately, a good number of graves to that grave area. Like, it is not small by any stretch, but even some recent ones dug up there. And now if you see 1 or 2 recent graves, that doesn't strike you as anything odd. But when you see like 24 of them kind of like, picked up on the scan, you're kind of like zooming in on the different images as you're dropping in and so on, that does stand out to you, no question. A quick reading with your 22 of how many persons are in the area, you're getting that there's a few dozen. So probably less than 100 people, but definitely more than 50. So the exact number is hard for you to judge. As for like artillery or what have you, it doesn't seem like they have anything like that set up, at least not that a quick initial scan can get. But you're also not going to be hovering and scanning for a while. You're kind of like dropping in and just doing what you can quickly as you go. So now I ask you the question, unless you have any other questions about details, I ask you the question, do you want to just bring the ship and literally drop it inside of the city in what seems to be a safe landing spot? Or do you want to land outside of the city and try to walk in?
Do I have any supplies on my ship, like a cargo bay that we could... Is there like a way we could drop like food or water or something to them as like a charity offering so they don't immediately open fire on us? Because I really don't want to like open the doors and then they immediately just start shooting at the door handle,
Yeah, let's have somebody in chat participate here. I assuming it still works. Can somebody in chat roll me a D100? I don't remember if it works or not. I hope it does.
Wow.
Oh, yeah, it does. Cool. All right, cool. 50. So, thank you, Uzu. It is helpful. Thank you, Uzu, and thank you for the pledge on Patreon, by the way, and a bunch of other people too. A bunch of $1 pledges, which is great. Means you all get to vote. So anyways, since it was like 20 something free votes, these are the ones that are finishing up. Messy, back to you. So you are, you actually know that they sent you with some basic supplies. Now, unfortunately, it's not like they sent you with supplies for hundreds of people, but they did send you with some supplies to feed, a couple dozen people for a week or more than that for less. So some very basic stuffs.
Okay. And we're expected to pick up as many as we can and fly them to another location, right? That's the mission?
The mission is for an extraction up to your ship that you just came from, which realistically you're not going to be doing all at once on this small little, but you can at least convince them and bring a few and then so on and so forth. And then the big ship can come down and collect the rest. But they weren't about to just drop in like a freighter, planet side.
Okay. Right. Okay. Then I would probably want to hover over the clearing that you mentioned in their city, air quotes, and drop some supplies. Not too many, because I will have to be able to feed them if anyone want to come back with us. Just to show that we're there as like a peace offering, the olive branch. And then I will want to fly and land outside the city and give them time to prepare for anything. I don't want them to feel like we're trying to flash and shock and awe or whatever it's called.
So you're flying in, you're dropping the supplies down, not like to the point where it destroys them, like hovering, dropping it down there the best way you can, and then you're taking off, or you're going to continue to hover there?
We would take off and then land in the front at the whatever their main
You say
entrance
we,
is.
but this is just you.
Okay,
so
me.
yep, you drop the supplies, and then you literally take off and go land in the other direction. Cool, awesome. Once you take off and land, you can see that immediately afterwards, you can see that people are like scrambling, like, what the fuck was that? Where'd that thing come from? Oh my God. Ah! As you did that and you go fly out the other way. When you fly and you land, is it very close to the defenses of the city, to like the walls, or is it like a good distance out? Like how far are you going from the gate?
Not more than like 100 meters, probably.
Okay. So you go about 50 meters or so from the gate.
Yeah.
Drop the thing. Do you wait a while? Do you immediately get out of your thing and start heading in?
He would wait a second and see if they immediately start firing or if they're just watching him, kind of thing.
Nope.
But
They're just watching. Well, actually, technically, you have to get out and you get out and you probably remove the scope from your gun and do like a quick little, because you don't want to aim your gun up there while you're
Right.
Do a quick little look and roll me a perception check.
Okay. 14.
Okay. So the 14, you can see that some people are up there and looking out at you. They, however, do have guns out and are pointing in your direction. So that's good news. While they don't have artillery, they do have weapons. And this place has clearly taken a beating over the years against what you don't entirely know, but you were told some arguing factions or some shit. I don't know. Is Rena back at her desk yet?
No. I can go get her.
No, it's fine. She just needs to read something before it's her turn. You know, but that's fine. We'll deal with it when she returns. So,
Okay.
So anyways, the, where were we? So you are, able to walk in, noticing that there are a handful of people that are up there and similarly watching you. With your 14, you can't really make out too much detail, just that there are a handful of people that are watching you as you approach.
They're humans.
Yes, they are humans. Mm-hmm. So, once you like approaching the city, so that you're only like a few meters away from the actual gate, do you call up first, or let somebody call down to you?
Yeah, he would wave and wait for them to get whatever their spokesperson is to come speak. He'd probably say something like, assuming it's daytime, good day. Is there anyone I should talk to?
Somebody calls down and says, hey, are you from out there?
He nods. I've come to collect some people who want to leave.
How did you get here?
Points to his ship.
In the name of the stars, you need to speak to the one in charge. Question. It's been a few years. Drell, right?
He nods.
Yeah, you can see there's kind of conversations among them. Ooh, okay.
I mean, I feel like a
sharpen my
Drell
teeth.
smile is kind of scary, right?
I don't know. I mean, I always thought Thane was off-putting, like the way he looked, because he like doesn't have lips. So I always thought he looked a little weird, you know. But I don't know. Some people stand Thane, which I think is, you know, gross.
He definitely had lips. I don't know what you're on about.
I know Tyler's into Thane, and we all know why Tyler's into Thane. But other than that, you know,
Thane had lips, my guy.
did he? I don't
He had
know.
teeth. Yeah, he did. Yes.
Mass Effect Thane
He had lips.
images. Oh, he does have lips. He has pouty. He has pouty lips. Actually, he has some like
handsome.
He has some pouty lips. He has like he went and got Botox or whatever it's called, collagen injected into the bottom
he's
lip.
a lizard.
Yeah, he has some collagen bottom lips. So
Turian
I
doesn't have
would
teeth.
I would
Maybe
not
doesn't
call him. I would not call him handsome. I just don't see it. He's
All right.
It looks like somebody ripped off half of his face and neck, and his muscles, like the sinew, is hanging out underneath. It's like
Wow.
gross and off-putting. I'm just like, I'm hard pass. But either way,
I'm not sure that was on the table anyway, but
yeah, I don't think you can go. Thane doesn't go gay when you play the game. I don't think. So, yeah.
oh, I just
All right.
meant because he's not real. But continue.
Oh, I was just saying. I think because I've done the gay plays, and I don't think Thane was on the table. So, but either way,
I don't remember.
we all know the best relationship
it's
option
very
is
cute.
always Garrus.
Miranda.
Garrus is number
Oh.
one. No, Garrus is number one. He's the ultimate bro, followed very closely by Ashley.
You have to read
So.
something. God sent you something. He said you have to read it. Quick, send her
All
a
right.
message that says poop.
Arvuna in Roll20. All right, moving on. So, where were we? You, sir, your face. So they kind of like some conversation once you admit that you're Drell. Some conversation happens behind you that there's a little bit of side chatter or whatever it is, and then they go and they open up the gates. But when they open the gates for you, it's not like they just immediately let you in. You can see that a couple of people have gone down and they come out to greet you. While they come out to greet you, I want you to go ahead and roll me. Well, actually, you have a passive insight, so let me just look at your character sheet. Your passive insight is terrible. Roll me an insight check.
My passive insight's a 12. That's pretty good. Oh, wait, no, that's my passive wisdom.
Yeah, I was like, I think it's...
Sorry, my perception. My perception. Insight. Yeah, here we go.
Okay. 10. So the two people come out. One of them has their rifle, I don't want to say aimed at you, but also not at you. You know what I mean? Like they have it aimed in your direction. Definitely comes to you as somebody who's very well trained with weapons. This is not firearm safety. They also have their finger somewhat on the trigger, not like actually touching it, but definitely hovering over it. So a curled finger rather than a straight one along the barrel, which is not good. The other person that comes walking out, their weapon is not aimed at you. Their finger is not on the trigger. They are just walking out holding their assault rifle. But they do walk out. Go ahead.
Weapon, and when you say rifle, are you talking about ones I'd be familiar with, or that?
Yeah, absolutely. So these are specifically, I mean, primitive, if you will, being 15 years ago, but they are the trying to remember the name. Give me 1 second. It's a generic one. MA Avenger. It's just, these MA Avengers probably aren't very well maintained compared to like what they should be.
Okay. Do either of these two speak? Sorry, I might have cut you off. No.
Oh, do either of them speak? Gotcha. Okay, so when they come walking out, like I said, one of them has a gun kind of aimed at you. Again, definitely not firearm safety. And they come out, and so one of them says, "Are you armed?" And that's the one that doesn't have the gun pointed at you. The one that does says, "Are you kidding me? Look at that thing!" Gesturing towards the sniper rifle attached to your back. What's your plans with that thing?
Shrugs. I just take it with me everywhere. When I can. I promise I won't use it.
The man that doesn't aim the weapon at you nods and says, I'm sure if you plan to do so, you probably wouldn't have dropped the supplies that you did. That might be some long ruse that you're playing, but we're willing to hear you out. What's your name?
My name is Frait. Sorry, I did Simon's voice in the last one. I was like, shit, why did I do that?
All good.
Say that? Okay, don't. Sorry, what was the question again?
What's your name? And you said Frait.
Oh yeah, Frait.
Yep. And
he'll ask, what's your name? Damn it, I did it again. Sorry. Just continue.
Anybody that doesn't like Ashley doesn't know how to follow conversations. That's all I'm going to say. So yeah, you sir, you say Frait, what's your name? And he goes, my name's Christian. You don't need to be concerned or anything. We're just going to talk. So you're here for what reasons? Dropping these supplies and whatnot. Is this a humanitarian effort? Are you being sent from the Citadel?
Well, the Citadel isn't exactly around, but we are rebuilding, and I have been sent to come take as many as you would like to come and see salvation. He smiles when he says that. Not in a weird cult way, just in a way that might free you from constant war.
I mean, I'm not sure what you mean by salvation. You mean to just take us out of this place?
Yes, we can rehome you in places where you can contribute as members of our society and no longer fight and kill all day.
I mean, I won't lie.
Times before.
I won't lie. People here might be interested in what you're suggesting, but It's not my decision to make, and honestly, I'm not even sure if you're welcome into the city as it is. So I'm going to have to send you a different direction, friend. So please state your case, and I will suggest for where you should go and who you should speak to. But in the meanwhile, in case I speak to our leader first, I want to know what to be able to tell her.
I see. Well, we're hoping that maybe a few of you would want to see what we have to offer, and then if you like it, we can return you, and you and your people may converse about how many wish to come with us. Maybe a few days. Longer if you wish. We have food and supplies. Oops.
It's a tempting offer again, but not one that I can share with the others. You're going to have to find her. She went on her own little, we'll say, expedition. But I will warn you, it is a bit of a treacherous path, the one that she walks. The creatures on this moon, they're dangerous. And then the raids as of late, they make leaving the walls even more so. Unfortunately, it's what needs to be done to gather supplies or to meet with other, groups from other cities. So I suggest if you wish to speak with her, you can either wait here for her return or you can make the trek yourself.
I understand. Perhaps it would be beneficial if I were to go look for your leader, and I can leave this in your city?
Gesturing to the ship?
The ship, yeah.
The one that has the gun kind of pointed at you and goes, yeah, it's a great idea. The one that is not pointing the gun kind of like looks at them, and you can see like a second or so passes, and they say, on second thought, maybe not. If you leave that here, it's very likely it will not be when you return. There hasn't been a functioning ship around here in a good number of years, and the first chance people have to get their hands on one, who knows what they're going to do with it or where they're going to bring it. I suggest you lock that thing up tight before you go wherever it is you're going.
And I assume I can't use it to find your leader then?
Unfortunately, if you go flying that thing around where she is, you very well may just draw attention, more than you probably already did, from the raiders and the like. If you do that, then, like I said, you'd be fighting more than just the local creatures. And those creatures themselves, well, they react to loud noises. That thing wasn't exactly quiet on the drop. I don't know if engines scare those things away or bring them in. It's been a good number of years since we had a functioning one. I can't rightly recall. There was a good number of us more back then. We had artillery. We had actual Alliance soldiers. None of that exists anymore.
Okay, very well. I shall take my ship somewhere where people won't be tempted, and I will find your leader. Just, send me coordinates?
Yeah, I can do that for you. You can leave it there. I can post a guard up that's trustworthy, they say, allowing a small pause, and a more insightful person would notice he poignantly does not look at the person next to him. But not you. A more insightful person would notice that. He continues saying, I'll post a guard up, one that I trust, and we'll see to it that nobody tampers with your ship.
Very well. Then I'll be off.
One more thing before you go. Did you know that Molly also has a crush, but on Freddie Prinze Jr.? Totally loves Freddie Prinze Jr. and would love to see to it that Freddie Prinze Jr. both lived in that her husband's, let's say, toy did not. I just want to make sure that information was known.
I see. Well, that I don't see how that's relevant currently, but I suppose we could all keep that in mind. But I'm partial to people whose names start with the letter M.
Oh. Like Molly, my friend.
Yes, and all the other ones, too.
Yeah. Well, Minion and Messy and... Yeah, anyways, let's coordinates. Here you go.
We could be here all days.
He literally starts scribing down onto a piece of paper and it hands you some details. And you reach out and take paper, which is strange, but the problem is it's written in English. You don't understand English, or it's in some human language. So you literally put your Omni tool of it, and it scans, and it translates. Yeah, and gives you
at that
details.
point, I hand the paper back.
Yeah, he goes, "Oh, Omni tools. Very few of those left here. A handful of people have them, but the rest of us ain't so lucky anymore."
Well, we have plenty. When I rescue your leader, we can outfit all of you. I guess I should be going.
Good luck. It's not a as I said before, it's not exactly the most safe of journeys. I hope you're able to make it there safely and indeed in one piece.
He probably wouldn't even answer that. He'd just smile and wave as he leaves.
Sure. You're going to turn around. You swing by your, shuttle there, grab whatever basic details you need out of it, and then, kind of get ready to go. So because you have a full suit of body armor, you can hold maximum number of thermal clips. It says actually on the website. I'm grabbing it right now for you. Or what the maximum number you can have is. For the various details. Where is it? Here we go. Oh, no, that's weapons, 4 slots, mods, blah, blah, blah. Where the fuck are you? Un segundo, por favor.
I don't know what that means.
1 second!
I don't know what that means.
Here we go. So with the, in total, 10 thermal clips, so you can have on your character sheet.
Wow, that's a
And
lot.
if Rena's sitting in her chair, she can do the same thing.
Yes.
10 out of 10 thermal clips.
Thermal clips.
Metagel, I believe everybody has 1 metagel starting the game. And then you have, I told you, you're starting off with 2 grenades. And so you're good to go there.
Did you do that?
No, you can carry a maximum of 4. Most people can carry
we only
2,
start
but
with
because you're subclass, you can have 4, but you have 2 out of 4
I see.
walking into the game. Just like Wade gets to start with 2 out of his 2, technically. So you have 10 out of 10 thermal clips, 2 out of 4 grenades, and 1 out of 4 metagel. And technically, you can also have what's it called on you? Omnigel 2, but you don't have any Omnigel on you at the moment. Anything else?
I'm a little bit confused. I don't think I'm supposed to have 4 metagel, but I don't know. I don't see any reason why mine would be higher than normal.
I'm looking where you are. Metagel, it says 1 out of 4. Yeah, you're good. It says 1 out of 4. That's right.
Well, I thought you just said I wouldn't have. Why would I have 4? Is my question.
Do you mean why is 4 the maximum that you're capable of carrying?
Yeah, me specifically. Is 4 the average for everyone?
4 is 4 is for everybody, depending on if you have a full suit of armor. Yes, without any mods or what have you. Yes.
I see. Okay, my bad. I thought you said 4 because I had upgrades, but I guess you were talking about the grenades, and I just misheard you. Okay, then we're good.
Gotcha. Okay. Cool. So, anything else? No?
Nope.
Cool.
Did it for me?
Yeah. So, let's, you grab up your supplies, you make sure everything's locked and loaded, because beforehand you weren't expecting like combat, but now you're like, all right, well, let me load out because like the way that the thermal clips, for instance, work, is you hold, like your chest has like 6 slots for thermal clips, like 3 over each side of your chest, or however it is that you can imagine it on your character. I don't really care. With the 2 additional each on your legs and arms. body slots. So again, however you kind of like see them being on your person, it's up to you. Again, I don't care. Technically, with you wearing body armor, they could all be in one location because you can't take this off piece by piece. It's all like one big suit. So again, mind's eye. And then the last thing you're going to do before you head off of your thing, you have everything you need to do, so on and so forth, is I can imagine you literally step out of the shuttle. You press that beep, 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 beep to make the thing go on like lockdown so we can get out of it. And then you just click like a little switch that's over on your belt somewhere, and you can hear that like small buzzing humming noise, and that for like a second as your shields generate and come online. Because like once you click that, like a couple seconds later, your shields are online and you're ready to go. So in case anything big hits you. This is a fun fact for PCs and viewers. Includes Wade, Pat, who I don't think is here at the moment, and Rena. Your shields, when you walk around normally, they're not just always on. You turn them on when you're walking into like an active combat situation, and they will be on during all active combat situations once you turn them on. But it's not like they're always on. And to turn them on is only a free item interact, and they turn on right away, right? But there are moments like, let's say you're literally walking around the peaceful center of a city, and then like you get shot because like it's a peaceful center of a city. There shouldn't be combat there, and you're like, oh no. That kind of a thing can happen. So, anyways, so, where were we? I hope Wade is winning his voting war. Back to you, Messy. So you grab up the details, and I need you to roll for me a survival check because you're trying to work off of handwritten instructions and how your Omni tool's translating them, and so on and so forth.
Oh. Hey.
All right. That was sexy. Lucky. Good job.
Thanks, Dad.
All right. Oh, you're welcome. All right, cool.
He called me Dad.
Man, it's funny that that Wade, maybe Hilarious. You should be nicer to people. All right, so you immediately walk out and start heading towards the direction of where it is that you need to go. As you're making your way out there, one of the things that you notice about this game, that's this world that you're on, this moon, is that, I mean, truth be told, it is really beautiful. The horizons here are nice. This whole place is genuinely beautiful. It is, for all intents and purposes, a garden world, even if it's technically a moon. It is a garden world that's here. It's a little bit heavier, if I remember correctly. Where you come from, gravity is not as intense there on the Hanar home world, or their moon, I should say, is where you live. Whereas this one, this moon here is 1.1 Gs, so it is a little bit heavier than you're used to. So you feel a little bit weighed down, but nothing that's really impacting you in any noteworthy way. The part that's actually really getting to you is after you've gone back to the ship and collected your supplies, and you saw people without, XYZ gear on, you did have the ship do a full analysis of the air that's down here to make sure that it was safe for you. And indeed, it was safe. So you're like, okay, cool. I can take my helmet off. So like as you, get your stuff together and you turn on your shields, you can literally take a moment where you pop off your helmet to taste the air. Oh boy, that was a bad idea. Messy, you've gone swimming many times. What's the deepest pool you've ever swam in?
The ocean.
That's not what I asked you.
I don't know. 4.5 feet, about your top of the head.
Ha 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 ha. No, really. Like a standard 10-foot deep pool?
Like past 12. I don't know. I don't know the highest.
Okay.
Past 12.
The reason why I'm bringing it up is because the air here is so thick. The atmosphere here is so dense. It's about 1.45 atmospheres, which means it's about as pressured as being at the bottom of like a 15, 16 foot deep pool. So if anybody here has ever gone swimming inside of a pool that was 3 meters deep or what have you, you know that once you swim to the bottom of that pool to pick something up that was on the ground, you can feel that pressure on your head. It is a lot. And that's the bottom of a 10 foot or 3 meter deep pool. We're talking 15 feet deep. So even deeper than that. It is a heavy atmosphere. So I can imagine your character, who likes things to be a bit more dry and arid and whatnot, immediately after taking off your helmet and attempting to see if this is something that you could, withstand, would find it incredibly uncomfortable. And immediately afterwards would want to put your helmet on to more comfortably withstand the trekking or what have you that you're going to do. Yes, yes?
Yes.
Cool. Once you get it on, you navigate your path and you start making your way to where it is that you need to go. Your survival check does more than just finds the correct location. It also gives you a good bit of insight into the kind of creatures that you see here, because you occasionally see them moving about. The indigenous creatures here, you've never seen them before. They're a type of, for lack of better word, insectoid, right? They're like an arthropod that happens to be here. And there's different size ones. You notice it because there's maybe something off into the distance. You whip out a scope and you look at it down the scope. And you're like, oh, that thing's fucking weird looking. And you see all sorts of different movements or what have you that happen to be here. Again, you don't know what they are. But what you do know is, I don't know what they are. Let me stay away from them. And so you do so, picking your path wide. One of the things that probably stands out the most to you is at one point, you actually see something that looks extremely strange. Crimson off into the distance. But getting a better scan of them, why don't you go ahead and roll me a science check real quick. That's like, you're making me roll all my favorite skills. Thank you, Scott. You're the best. You have no idea what the strange pattern is, but it looks like a strange pattern made out of crimson off in the distance. It throws you off again as being alien, as bizarre. You were trained in various different arts, switching schools multiple times during your upbringing as a Drell in the Hanar Moon, or even their home world. I'm not sure where your school is. That's fine. But xenobiology is certainly not one of your forte. Again, you decide to keep your distance and make your way. Eventually, however, you being a bit of a tracker, not your best skill, but you do have proficiency in it, you eventually do pick up the signs of there being footsteps walking alongside some sort of, we'll say, motorized vehicle. It leads tracks that suggest maybe there is a functioning center tire with almost like sled legs on either side. For your sake, Messy, imagine a you know what a snowmobile looks like, but except imagine like a single tire, like a motorcycle in front, and like a sled back to it. For how you can kind of imagine the tracks that this thing is leading, with footsteps walking around it. You can imagine this is probably bringing something worth trade or what have you. The tracks are not too old, and so you're able to follow them. The problem is where you're following them is kind of up and into a bit of a mountainous region. It's not too high up in altitude that you have to go before, again, because of like the pressure and what have you, before this area just becomes snow laden. There's ice on the ground, there's snow around you, so on and so forth. It just becomes, unfortunately, more difficult terrain to pass. But again, not too far of a distance you need to go. You eventually start looking. Go ahead and roll me a perception check. Cool. With a 14 perception check, you finally are able to notice what it is that you were looking for a good ways. Now, unfortunately, they're pretty friggin' far out, even beyond what is a feasible range for the scope of your rifle. And as a reminder, your rifle has a functioning range of 360 meters, so well over 1,000 feet, right? So a good distance. They're unfortunately close to maybe a mile or so ahead of you, and moving they were close to a mile or so ahead of you, but seems to be like they're already grouping up because you can see them meeting with another party or group or what have you up ahead. So you pick this up on your scope. The party that you're following, if you will, is only 3 people. One of them sitting on top of this moving object, and 2 others that are walking. You can't make out any details because they're all bundled up for the cold, right? And then you can also see that there are meeting with them down below. So you're going up this mountain range. You're coming down like a steep area to a valley down below, up ahead. There is another group of 3 that's meeting up with them, and they have other supplies. You have a perception check of 14. Are you happy with that, or did you want to luck it at all?
I didn't realize we already had luck. No, I don't want to use a luck.
Okay. Yes, you did already have luck. It was not only did you have some left over from their session 0. I did port in all of the luck and daddy's dice of the previous campaign into this. Moreover, actually I did that wrong, come to think of it. I was supposed to give you half of my daddy's dice. I'll fix that afterwards. Moreover, the other things are not unlocked yet. All the other things that they can do to spend initiative, those are not unlocked yet. Back to you. So you can see that they're meeting up with another group of 3, similarly traveling with a similar kind of device, if you will. Your perception check of 14 shows that theirs must have broken because they have ropes coming off of it and they're dragging theirs, not the people you're following, the others. Okay, mile behind, you have the high ground. You can see the people down there. They're about to meet up with one another. Do you continue to move towards them or do you hang back where you are?
If I continue to move towards them, will I lose line of sight?
No, because, I mean, occasionally you might be like, oh, I came across a ridge and I have to walk around it, but we're talking like 20 seconds at most, that you lose sight before you come back into sight again. Not like you break sight forever. That's only rarely.
Okay, then I will move towards them as long as I can keep an eye on them if they move again.
Wait, say that one more time?
I will move towards them as long as I can keep my eye on them to make sure they're not going to move again.
Cool. So you continue just trying to make your way there. Are you trying to do so unnoticed? Do you want to stealth your way there?
I feel like at this far, it wouldn't really matter that much. But let's say for the sake of the argument, yes.
Why don't you go ahead and roll me a stealth check there, sir, man boy, sir. Okay.
I'm happy with that.
Yeah. You're easily able to pick your way down. Now, of course, this does mean you're moving more slowly because you're being careful, but you are able to get yourself significantly closer. Now a solid just under a half mile out from where they are, you stop and you're once again going to see what it is that they're doing. Roll me another perception check as you, again, gun out, looking down your scope, trying to check them out. Unfortunately, you're not able to make too much detail of what it is that they're doing. You can see them. That's not an issue. It's not like you failed to do that. You know where they are. And you can see that they're conversing with one another. But what they're conversing about or any details, it's completely missed to you. You just see 6 figures all completely covered in heavy clothes, covering most of their face and whatnot. You can't even really make out facial details as they're just talking to one another. You continue making your way when all of a sudden you hear a loud cracking noise. It's a noise that you know all too well. A loud cracking noise goes off as you look to the side and you see, as you hear a cracking noise that suggests the firing of a round. You look down your scope quickly, getting it out and looking to see both where the group of 6 people or where the shot came from.
I want to look at the group.
Sure. So you don't even need to make a perception check for this one. You could already tell that one of the group has already taken a shot and dropped. From what you could tell, it looks like it may have been, if not whatever the shot it was really clean. You don't know if it was quite fatal right off the bat, but it was definitely a chest shot. So if it's not immediately fatal, it's probably going to be within moments. That person just immediately dropped. You see that down the scope, and I imagine as your attention is kind of going elsewhere, almost too fast afterwards, you hear another crack as another shot is taken and another person drops. Go ahead, Messy, and roll for me a history check. But this, wait, hold on. I want to make sure it's history. Go on, don't roll. No, roll for me an engineering check with a advantage.
You're too kind.
No, there's a reason for it.
Oh my god.
The reason why this catches you off guard is because the cracking noise that you're hearing, that is a telltale sign. You're almost positive this other person is firing a mantis. So either there's 2 snipers or somebody has the ability to reload really fucking fast, because that was 2 shots in we're talking 2 shots in what seems to be under 6 seconds, as a second target drops. Is your eyes still on the now 4 people in front of you, or are you starting to look for the sniper?
Okay, so let me get my bearings here. The person I'm supposed to be following is in the group that's being sniped at?
Yep.
Do I know which one they are, or no clue yet?
No clue yet, unfortunately.
Okay.
You just heard she, so the female, but they're also bundled up. You ain't seeing no telltale signs of who's male versus female.
Right. Okay. I will... And the group that I'm following, that's the leader of the people I'm supposed to be helping, are the ones that are getting sniped, right? Not the other side.
Yes, sir.
Because they're meeting up with another group, and they're fine.
In theory, you want all of them to go, but the one that you're following is the one that has more sway, if you will.
Okay. In that case, I will attempt to find the assassins.
Okay. Roll me a perception check.
Okay. See, this is the problem. 7.
Okay. So with your perception check, you're looking out and you're trying to find the sniper, and unfortunately, you just can't see them, which means you're going to have to hang back and wait for a shot. So instead of looking down your scope, when you're looking around, you can't find them, you're like, God damn it. You're literally gonna have to take your eye off of the scope and just look in the direction that you hear the sounds coming from and watch for a muzzle flash. A muzzle flash is so obvious that it makes it so you immediately know where they are, and then you can look down the scope and much more easily pinpoint your target. So, unfortunately, you have to wait for that. And there's a loud crack as the muzzle flashes, and you can immediately see where the shot is coming from. Now you can make a perception check with advantage because you know where they are. You instantly know where they are. This is no. You instantly know where they are. This is just a matter of details, right?
Oh,
so,
okay.
So with your perception check, sir, you are in fact able to see the target in question. You are in fact able to see the target in question that's there, and you're able to notice that they are in fact a human as well. Similarly bundled up for the cold. They are looking down a what is it called? A mantis, same as you. But as much as they took that shot, they are not stopping to reload. They are immediately lining up their next shot, which suggests that they have some sort of thermal enhancements inside there, right? So this allows for you to handle that. So to see them, you, sir, now have the drop on them. They have no fucking clue where you are. You can see exactly where they are. They have where they're kind of posted up against their targets, 3/4 cover, but they didn't know somebody was going to be sniping out from further up in the altitude on the mountain. They only have a +2 AC against you. You are welcome to go ahead and take advantage, because they know you're there, and just try to take out the sniper. Oh, another thing with your 20, looking around, you do see that the sniper is there. You don't immediately see anybody else around the sniper. There could be more people, but you're looking down a scope. You can't see a wider area. So there's nobody immediately around the sniper. Okay?
Okay. Yeah, I will begrudgingly take the shot. So he'll, I'm assuming, I know we're in higher altitude, so it's snowy and stuff, but I'm assuming there's still, like, rock formations or maybe a little bit of plant life that's alive up here. So he'll duck into cover in one of those kind of grooves if he can, or outlooks, and from there he'll line up a shot and take it. And he is in a little bit of a hurry because he knows the guy can fire again without having to wait, and he wants to get his shot off first.
Okay.
All right. You want me to take that shot?
With advantage.
So he lays down, and that looks really good.
Ooh. You don't have... Why do I feel like you have like a 1920 thing? Am I mistaken on that or no? Or is that like later on in the game you have that?
For the base mantis? I don't have that as a mod or ability or anything. As a feature, I should say. I don't have that as a feature. I can check the weapon.
I don't know.
Mantis. Let's see. Not seeing anything. I think
nope.
That's it.
Okay. I thought it wouldn't be a gun feature. It'd be like a character feature. So it'd be something that you personally could do versus like a weapon,
no,
right?
Nothing on me.
Okay, so maybe it's just something later on in the game, or maybe I'm confusing with something a sniper gets later on. I could just be wrong. I do not recall. Either way, so back to you, sir. You line up your shot, you take it, you get your sneak attack damage.
Oh, that's right. I have to roll damage. All right, with sneak attack. Okay, here we go.
Oh,
19.
That is sexy as hell. You line up the shot and crack, boom! You take it. You immediately drop the person. They take a headshot and they drop. Now you can pull your eye off of your target and you can roll me one more perception check, not advantage. Oh! Oh!
Thank God.
3 of the people, of the 6 people that you were viewing, are down. 3 of them still standing, and you can actually see that there's another 2 more that were picking their way across, making their way over to the people, and are nearly there. This actually shows that like it's one of those things where you're like, oh shit, they almost got to them, and they definitely were like about to ambush them. But the fact that you're like looking around, where the fuck are they? And then you see them, and they like stop, and they're looking up in your direction. Like they have cover, so the people that they're about to attack can't see them. But they stop, and now they're looking in your direction like, what the fuck was that? But as they're looking at you, this gives you like half a moment. You might be able to do something. If you can reload fast enough, you might be able to take one more shot.
I don't remember what the roll is for this.
Sleight of hand.
Oh, that's right. Sleight of hand. What? Yes!
Huzzah! Yes!
Yes!
They are aware of you. You do not have advantage. You have a regular shot, unfortunately.
Right,
oh, wait, no. Wait. They don't know where you are. They know that you're there, but they don't know exactly where you are because they weren't aware of you yet. So you can bonus action hide.
Stealth versus their perception or something, or
bonus action hide, and then you can do it. Yep.
Oh, wouldn't this be a bonus action to reload, or will you give me that in the?
Oh, you can still hide. Yeah, you can still do it as part of your move or whatever.
Then I'll take a shot.
Yep.
Okay, so I shoot with advantage. Yay! Oh my God. Okay, here we go. Well, there's a 91 and a 16. It's not a 16. It's a something else. It's a 6.
What the hell? Did Roll20 mess up the physical die?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yes.
That's fun.
It's an 11.
Are you happy with your 11, or do you want to luck that?
I'm not happy with my 11. I don't know if a luck will help, but I'm feeling lucky. Feeling a little bit lucky.
Oh, can't see
there's
it.
no luck. Oh no, it's a 1.
Yeah, you're on the 1. Sir? A 12 actually hits.
What does a 12 hit? That makes nonsense.
What? A 12 hits! That makes perfect sense. If somebody has a 12 dexterity and light armor, that hits.
Well, then I'm going to do my damage.
Okay.
14.
All right.
Yeah, that's a lot of ones.
You end up dropping another target as you do that. And from here, as you drop that target and the other one from here, we're going to now stop your session 0. You've kind of got your opening. You talk to the Hanar. You found your way over here, found a sniper, and took a couple of shots, and were able to get them. So, let's take a pause here.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. You know what's funny is, as I'm saying, we'll stop here. You take a couple shots. I literally realized, with the range that those people were at, you probably should have actually been shooting with disadvantage. But this is why we do session zeros. Yeah. It's about learning. It's about not screwing up and learning. So,
Here, let me just, for fun, a normal roll. Okay, well, there you go.
Perfect.
Just replace that roll with the last roll. Cool.
Perfect.
I guess I should leave, huh?
Hey, Tyler, what was your subclass that you're claiming copied? I'm curious what Tyler's subclass was. Also, if anybody thinks Infiltrator, I'm sure most people think Drell because they just immediately think Thane. Even though I personally my Shepherd's always an Infiltrator and Garrus is kind of an Infiltrator. Dude, yeah, I don't remember. Yeah, that's what I thought. Don't ask me things.
I can't believe I stole his stuff that he doesn't remember having. I'm sorry, Tyler. I won't steal your stuff you don't remember having ever again.
All right, everybody. We'll be right back in about 3 or 4 minutes. Just going to get Rena locked and loaded and ready to go. So we'll see everybody in just a couple of minutes. Bye.
Chat, don't leave.